Hello, my name is James Velocich, and the global childhood problem that I'll be addressing, I chose early childhood development, and this would be early childhood development and have an extra focus on the physical health as well as brain development. From everything I've learned in class, there's a need to put attention on early childhood development just because of how crucial it is for the overall health of a child, and especially in low income countries, that need is still there. So the location of the project, I chose the city of Port-au-Prince, and that's in the country of Haiti. And the reason why I chose Port-au-Prince, Haiti, there was a couple reasons. One is I'm connected to a couple of missionaries that went to the church I went to, and who lived in Haiti for years. And one the wife would help with an orphanage that they ran there, and the husband taught at a university in Haiti, and so I'm connected that way. And also another reason why I chose Port-au-Prince is because I went to Port-au-Prince in college, and I got to work with an organization that this was after the earthquake, so it was an organization that helped with families living in extreme poverty and living in tough conditions, and they focused on keeping the family intact even uh, through extreme poverty. And because of that, I thought that it's a great model because in order to promote a healthy childhood and healthy early childhood development, it works best if there's a team effort, team element. So Haiti as a nation struggles with extreme poverty. According to the World Bank, Haiti remains the poorest country in Latin America and Caribbean region, and it's among the poorest countries in the world. So, with that being said, it definitely is a country that has a need. Because of poverty, childhood development, it's impacted because they don't have access the things that they do in higher income countries. Uh, I believe that Haiti's hope is in their future, and the future is in the children being born today, and it's essential for if the country is to grow. We have to make sure that the children, for one thing, they're developing in a healthy way. And we've learned in our class this quarter that children need adults to fight for them because at this stage they're unable to fight for themselves. So that's our job. Um, Early childhood, it's very important for the brain development. The obstacles that children in Haiti face in this time of childhood development is access to immunizations, proper nutrition, and because of those needs, there can be struggles in the cognitive development and stunting. So these proposed solutions that I'm going to read off here, they come from they come from the firsthand work that I have done myself, or with the organizations that I was assisting in Haiti, or it's from the pastor and his wife who lived in Haiti at the orphanage and the university. These ideas kind of come from them, but I imagine the solution process coming from the efforts of multiple organizations and churches, not just the church that existed there from the church I went to. But the first one is providing of food, and so I thought of a food distribution to be there, and that's really obvious. But also, I wanted for this food distribution to have the idea of crop sharing, where it's not just them getting food from one place, but a combined team effort from different farmers throughout the region in the crop sharing distribution. And also, I wanted there to be an educational aspect to it too, as in providing classes on growing food and raising animals, and classes for the parents to provide classes for the parents on the importance of nutrition. So this is where having the contact with the university and the church and university there. I think that's where this would come into play because there's the facility for teaching and also the students there that they could that's their labor for uh, for helping this um, to run. Also, education and teaching a trade. When I was at Port-au-Prince, I got introduced to a program that they would specifically they would train men and women and also teenagers in a trade. So that way, um, if by the time they get to the age 14 or 15, and if they're not going to continue primary school, they have a trade, or when they do finish primary school, they have a trade that they can use to earn a living. And I know the thought might be, well, what does that have to do with early childhood development? But this is to help provide a means um, to provide for their families. So that's why I think that would be important. Again, education. So I know I'm doing early childhood development, but also just with a tad of education in there because I think it's a powerful tool. So the teaching of a trade, um, and as I mentioned earlier, I said I had the opportunity to work with an organization there that helped with families staying together, even in situations of extreme poverty. I'd want to have a class at the church that I know of there that they would work with the Haitian people and they would listen to them and listen to what are some of the struggles and needs. So my hope is that with the church working um, in the early childhood development areas, my hope is that it would build a community among those who are attending that church, but also an education for those that are looking for help because many of them are willing and they want help. They just need a little bit of direction. So yeah, to create a sense of unity and team combating these issues. And I think it's also important to note that this isn't supposed to be, just one church who's solving all these issues. No, that this has to be a combined team effort. So the community of Port-au-Prince will be for this if one we listen to them, and that being the church, and also if we provide help in the areas that they actually need help. Um, so Haiti, they care. The parents they care for the future of their children, and so we need to help them in any way that we can. So my project would campaign that churches, businesses, and hospitals, primary schools, and universities work together in creating a solution.